Hey guys, happy Friday. It has been a really long day and I need to look forward to something, so let's look forward to next week, I guess. Here's what I'm reading. So I have a couple of books on my list. I am just finishing up like IRL as I am filming this, In Other Lands by Sarah Reese Brennan, and I have enjoyed that, and it is kind of a lovely, mostly light read that occasionally kicks you in the kidneys. So I have picked out some books. For those of you who don't have a ton of context for this last week in the US, we had a Supreme Court justice hearing for a nomination to the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in our land. And there was some really dark stuff going on, and I feel a little beat up emotionally. So I have decided to mostly read stuff that is about strong women and people of color and about people who are LGBTQ, because I need a little bit of that in my life right now. The first thing I'm going to read this week is just pretty, and that's The Last Descender. This is by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, and I need some pretty. And this is the last trade. There have been a total of 6 of them, and they are all beautiful, beautiful works of art. The story is about a little android boy who gets abandoned kind of during the android apocalypse. And he is trying to find his brother and a way to safety. And it makes you want to cry, and also is just gorgeous. It's done in watercolors, and every second of this I love. The next I picked up kind of on a whim. This is a book of poetry by a woman named Amanda Lovelace, and this is The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one. It's kind of one of those poetry books that have started creeping into Target, and I'm kind of digging that. So this is a bunch of poems. They're all fairly short, about this woman's experiences, I think, really becoming confident in herself and being able to say no and to make sure other people take no for an answer. I've read a couple of the poems so far at the very beginning, and that seems to be the trend so far, and I'm looking forward to having a little bit of that in my life. So the next thing I have is also really short, and that is J.Y. Yang's The Black Tides of Heaven. I have read the first 2 novellas in the Tensert series. This is the 3rd, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It is set in a world where people choose their gender and opt to go into puberty to become men or women. The entire cast is fairly diverse and includes people who are non-binary, who are genderqueer, and all sorts of interesting things, and I'm really digging it. There's a really cool magical element to it, and magical versus scientific element to it that I'm enjoying. The Lady Vaults Book Club, which is run by Elizabeth over at Books and Pieces, is reading James Tiptree Jr. this upcoming month. And so I've picked up Her Smoke Grows Up Forever. This has 5 stories that they're reading. If I have some time, I would really love to read all of the stories in this collection, but we'll see if I can make it through them. Probably not this week. Probably over the course of the next couple, I'll be able to do that. And I'm really looking forward to it. I have not read nearly enough Tiptree. And then the last book I have was actually sent to me by Algonquin, but fortunately it is a book I've really been looking forward to. This is Dreadful Young Ladies and Other Stories. It's a short story collection by Kelly Barnhill, who I really loved her book, The Witch's Boy, which came out a couple of years ago. And she has just a fantastically fairy tale-esque, very fluid song-like way of writing about her, and I'm really enjoying the idea of reading stuff by her that's maybe a little bit darker, maybe aimed towards a bit of an older audience. And I'm just super ecstatic actually to finally get around to reading this. This has been on my shelf for a couple months now, but it is overdue. And so there you have it. These are the books I'm going to be reading this upcoming week, if I can get to them. Course. Who knows? I expect I'll get through the first 3 short ones, and we'll see how I do on the short story collections. I also have Sisters of the Winter Wood that just got sent to me and just arrived in the mail. And I've been really looking forward to that as maybe a way to fulfill my Catherine Arden hole in my heart as I wait for The Winter of the Witch. So I might pick that up if I'm feeling it. Go ahead and let me know what you're reading, especially if you're reading something lovely and hopeful or like really empowering. I need a little bit of that in my life right now. Later this week, I'm going to put out my version of the Hopeful Book Tag, which was out by, which was started by Rhea a couple of weeks ago, because I think that that's just a good conversation to be having right now. Everyone needs a little bit more hope in their life. I hope you guys are having a fantastic reading week. You guys know the drill. Go ahead, leave a comment down below, like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you have a couple moments, go ahead and check out my Patreon. There are a bunch of different levels of rewards that let you get things like early access to my videos, some chances to help me choose my books on my TBR for the month, and if you're really cool, you can go ahead and get some honey from my backyard bees, which is pretty awesome. If you don't know, local honeys all have a unique flavor based on the kind of wildflowers that are around them, so my honey will taste vastly different from local honey around you, unless you live surprisingly close to me, in which case, hi, how are you doing? I will talk to you guys later. I hope you're having a fantastic, fantastic start to your next week. Enjoy the weekend, guys.